everyone, it's Rita with Everything Homemade, and the last thing that needs to come out of the garden is the carrots, and I'm going to show you how to store these carrots today. So there's a couple different ways you can store carrots. You could dry these carrots, you could chop them up, put them in the dehydrator, and then when they're dried you throw them into stews, soups, etc. The other thing you could do, you could can the carrots, but these are beautiful, they're big. So what we're gonna do today is we are going to store them in sand in our cold storage. We're gonna use sand to preserve our carrots. Now, if you don't got a huge cold storage, but you got extra room in your fridge, you could definitely put a damp paper towel down in a bag. You could put all your carrots in, and then you kind of close up your bag, leaving a little bit of a hole for some air circulation, and then put it in your fridge crispers. That is an option. But if you take a look at our huge row here and how many carrots are going to come off and how many carrots are going to come out of this row, we can't put all of these into the fridge. So what we're going to do is we have some huge tubs downstairs, and they're all filled with sand. Sand is a really nice medium to work with because it only needs to be damp. It's easy to clean off the carrots, and you can reuse it over and over and over again. So that's what we're doing. Plus, sand, you can usually get it for free. We get our sand from a local sand pit that is welcome to residents to use, and it's absolutely free. So take a look at that. This is the size of the carrots that we're going to pull out. This is the row that we thinned heavily for storage, and this is the reason. They are huge, and what you want to do is keep only the biggest carrots. You don't want to put tiny little carrots into storage because they don't keep, they just go to mush. You want to have nice big carrots. What you can do with the smaller carrots, you can can them, you can dehydrate them. That's what I usually do, or we just eat them. But there's nothing like a crunchy carrot in the middle of winter. When I store my carrots, I usually can get 4 to 6 months out of them. And I'm not even in a really cool room. My room is about 16 degrees where we have the tubs because there is no room in the cold storage area, and you'll see that downstairs when we go. But I did this 2 years ago when we had a huge harvest, and I was a little concerned with the temperature, but the stand stayed cool and the carrots lasted. It was absolutely amazing. So I will show you that more in detail when we actually go down the stairs and into our basement area, and then I'll go over that. So right now, we got to get these carrots out. So we're gonna fill up the 5-gallon pails here full of carrots. Then we're gonna take them into the house and store them. Now, a couple of good pointers here, you guys. You do not want to store broken carrots. You do not want to store tiny carrots. Yes.
Oh, Chico.
You do not want to store carrots that are nicked in any way. So let's say you take the shovel and you nick it. You do not want to, you want to store your perfect carrots. You do not want to wash your carrots before storage. Otherwise, and the other thing is the tops, you don't want to store them. We just nicely break off the tops just like that, and then we store it from there. We make a pile of the tops somewhere in the garden, and then we will deal with those how fit. You could chop them up, dehydrate them for the greens mix, or you can feed them out to critters, or you can compost them. Or you can throw them in the salad, but we got lots of tops, so figure out what works the best for you. Otherwise, this is how you want to store it. You don't want to cut off the roots or anything, just how you pull it out of the ground and store it that way. When you grab the bucket, you don't want to just chuck it. If you got kids helping you, you don't want to just drop them in to the bucket. You don't want to bruise your carrots. Now I have some sand here because we got some new sand for our containers because my husband at one time used it for a project, so we had to get some new sand. So I'm not worried about the sand here because they're going to go into sand. So you nicely want to just drop it at the bottom of your buckets. So, with that being said, let's do this, you guys.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna put the bucket over here. I have Nova here, I have Grace here, and Ocean is filming at the moment. And we are going to get these out. And you can see how beautiful these carrots are. Now, our ground is heavy clayed. So this is not an easy task. It's not like I can just put in the shovel and dig them out easily. They are stuck tight in here, but we will get them out. Okay, so let's do this. So what you want to do is kind of wiggle. See? This is what I mean, how easy it is to break a carrot. Look at that. That's irritating, but it happens. So any broken carrots, we're going to just put off to the side over here. So that one goes in the pile, this one goes into the bucket. So basically we're just going to separate our carrots here into piles. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. Don't you just love how carrots grow? We will store this one, but it's got funky legs. Look at that. Here you go, Nova.
An octopus legs.
Yeah, an octopus legs. There's another good storage one. Okay, we got some big ones coming here. So Nova, grab these ones right here and add it to the pile.
Okay.
Okay. This one here is like a little bit too short, so we won't store that one. But this one here is a really nice one. There we go. Okay, so look at them. Look at those. Beautiful, beautiful carrots. Here, Grace, you take those ones. Okay, and we got some really nice carrots here. So this process is a bit time consuming, plus we're dealing with a lot of clay in our dirt, so that's why it is difficult to get the carrots out, but we'll get there. This is like an all-day event.
Those carrots are huge.
I know, I just don't want to break them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whew.
So take a look at that. This here is the shape of Bugs Bunny carrot. That's what it reminds me of. Anyway, okay, here you go. Oh, look at this guy. Woo! And we made it. I love pulling out carrots with this. Look at them.
Those are huge.
Those are huge. Okay, let's grab this one. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, a little tiny one we'll throw onto that pile.
They're tremendous.
So this one here is kind of stout, but really thick in diameter. So we're gonna keep him into the pails for storage. So here's a whole bunch. This one here, you see the difference in sizes right here? We will keep this one for cold storage. We'll eat this one. Okay, and this one here is the borderline, but we'll store this one too. And I'm just trying to give you guys a really good idea of what to look for with all different sizes, so you guys can do this really well. Okay. Alrighty. We got going here. So there's a bigger one there. Keep. Some of these ones are smaller again. And then we got some bigger ones once again coming. Okay, so Nova, store that one, store this one, store this one here, and then Grace, you clean up the rest there, okay? It's October 3rd today. So we are doing this in a beautiful weather. Look at that. So both of those Nova can go.
These.
And then these ones here are too small. And you notice there are no worms, you guys, no worms. So thank you for all your prayers. I know I was really worried that we would have an infestation of worms because of some of the other crops, but nothing. It's just, this is just an absolute blessing. Okay, look at this.
Storage.
So what we're going to do is we're going to continue going down this row until we got our buckets full, and then we're going to head inside. Okay, we are downstairs in the basement. As you can see, we have tubs starting underneath the stairs, and you can see the stair angle, so we have them stored, so we have them just on rollers. So I'm going to pull some out and show you here. And then this one here is full of sand. So this one's a lot heavier. And this is the reason why we have everything on rollers, is because the downfall to sand is weight. They are heavy. So let's take a look what's inside here. So this one's full of sand and this one's empty. Now we always keep one empty tub, because we always need a transfer tub, always. And before I talk anything more about that, let's take a look at this one right here. So you kind of can see the construction of what we're doing underneath these tubs. What my husband did was basically build a cart to go underneath, designed for these tubs. And this insert is because the tubs actually have an area where it nicely sits down. Underneath, he put wheels. He put two that can go 360 degrees and then two that are stationary. So I can turn these tubs on a dime. So we have every tub has one of these carts underneath it. And that's what saves our backs. So I'm going to just put this to the side. Okay, so let's concentrate back on these tubs. Now, like I said, we need a transfer tub. So when we're filling up our carrots into our tubs, we need to be able to fill from the bottom up. That's really hard to do with all this sand. And then when you take away carrots out of your tubs, you don't want to continuously put your sand. So once you moved a section, took your carrots out, you don't want all the sand sitting here. You want to continuously be transferring it to the empty tub. So you always want one free working tub. And so, girls, let's give me a hand, one of you. We need to empty, basically, we need to just put a small layer of sand at the bottom here. So Ocean, right here, what we want to do is start filling up this tub with carrots. So we want, I don't know, about that much sand at the bottom. And you can tell this sand has moisture. When I put my hand, squeeze the sand, it kind of holds together. It doesn't hold crazy well, but enough moisture in there to hold it somewhat together. That's the moisture level I want. If you hold it together and you wring out liquid, it is way too wet. If it just falls apart, like this sand right here, if it does that, there's no moisture and it's not moist enough. If it's so wet that your glove gets wet doing it, too much moisture. So basically, you just want it nice and moist. Okay, so let's fill this up. All right, so let's put some more sand here at the bottom. And like I said, if you need sand, find out locally if there is any way to get free sand. Usually there is. If you don't know, go on Kijiji, go on a Facebook page to your area. Find out, usually you can get free sand somewhere. Okay, so basically we're going to pat it down. So now that you got the first layer in, and I like to pat it down. I don't know if it's really necessary for you to pat it down, but I just like it. So what you want to do is you want to grab your carrots, and you don't want to butt them up to the container. You want to leave I'm leaving like a centimeter around, and I just kind of gently position them in. And then I basically am leaving a gap in between each of the carrots. And that is so the sand can fall. Basically blanketing each carrot individually and put them in. So you can, if you do this right, you can put a lot of carrots. And notice that I like to kind of go on this pattern where it's like one carrot with the root down, then the other carrot with the root up. It just seems to fit better in your container. And if the roots are like really, really long, then I just disobey my rule and I go the other way, because you don't want them touching. And then suddenly you got a long one here. Okay, so sometimes when it's out of place, then I start a new row, and I just kind of basically look at the shapes of my carrots and just visually try to put it all together the best you can. Okay, you guys, now that I have the first layer done, what I want to do is put sand on it. Again, just right on top. There we go. I'm just going to even out the sand just a little bit. Okay, and so basically if you see any leaves or anything like that in your sand, discard it. And then basically what you want to do is do it all over again. And if you have any leaves like this, you definitely don't want them in, because they're the ones that are going to get moldy and or start to decompose, and you don't want that. This is also a good way, depending on how your carrots store and all that stuff, you can actually take some of these out and you can replant them back into the garden, and you can have them for seeds, because carrots are biannual, meaning that they will go to seed the second year. So you can also do that, and you can have your own seeds. Last layer of sand on top, and that'll be it for this particular tub. And you can see here how perfect it is to have an empty transfer bucket, because it just makes everything so much easier. Everything goes smoother, and you're not spilling or making a mess or have to store your sand somewhere else. Everything is within the system. So I'm going to just cover these carrots up here now, and then basically this is exactly what we're going to do for the rest of the row. And any carrots that don't make it into this tub, we just got to figure out, we got to decide whether we're going to dry them or can them or just store them in the fridge and just eat them up first. So I got to figure out what I'm doing there. But this is a really good method to store your carrots long term.
There's a stem peeping out at one edge.
Okay, you ready? No, down right here. Or Mike, you got kind of me in this. Let me in this. Okay, you ready? You good?
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. Quick and easy way to store your carrots. Now we'll take this tub, we'll put the lid on it, and then we will wheel it to the side here and continue working on the rest of the tubs. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.